Free university education being introduced in the Bahamas. And in sport, Barbados retains their Women's Regional Super 50 title. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, March 26, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Well, I want to start this week with a list of names. Hickenlooper, Inslee, Klobuchar, Booker, Harris, Castro, Gabbard, Delaney, Williamson, Yang. Each of these names are connected to one another. Now, one might guess they're the special teams unit of the Los Angeles Rams, but they're not. Let me add a few more and see if you catch on where I'm going with this. Warren, Sanders, Bloomberg, Brown, Gillibrand, Buttigieg. Figured it out yet? Let me add one more. Biden.
I think, to some extent, the wave of enthusiasm in the foreign financial press about Peña Nieto was always artificially cultivated, and very deliberately sought by the new Mexican, the elite who came in with Peña Nieto, his team. His finance minister in particular, a man called Luis Videgaray, who went to college with Jared Kushner, so he has an in with the Trump White House. And this man was reportedly the brains behind the Peña Nieto presidency and its economic program.
The Bahamas government has announced that it will introduce free university education later this year. Education Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis made the announcement last night in an address to the nation in which he outlined an aggressive policy aimed at restructuring the country's education system. He said education remains at the core of Bahamas' economic and social development, and his government's mission is to ensure that everyone has access to the educational opportunities they need to succeed in life and to become responsible citizens. And he insisted that reform of the educational system must impact every stage of learning from preschool to university and other education and training agencies.
We have to think big and to act boldly to secure our future. Beginning this September, qualifying students will be able to attend the University of the Bahamas tuition-free. We will make more announcements on this at a later date. We are committed to expanding access to technical and vocational skill training for many more Bahamians.
Minnis added that early childhood education is also being enhanced with the Bahamas Early Start project.
This project will impact both public and private preschools through the revision of the national preschool curriculum, the training of teachers, caregivers, and teachers' aides on effective strategies in early childhood education, and through parent information and education.
The government has launched a pilot program to introduce tablets to children in public preschools, and Prime Minister Minnis said infrastructural upgrades have also taken place at most preschools to accommodate the increased demand for internet connectivity. The remaining schools will be upgraded by 2020 through the Smart School initiative. Legislators in Bermuda have unanimously rejected a United Kingdom Parliamentary Committee report that recommended UK citizens should vote, gain citizenship and run for office in the British Overseas Territory. Premier David Burt moved a motion in the House of Assembly to reject the report from the House of Commons, which he says is the unwarranted and unjustified attempt at intervention into Bermuda's domestic affairs. He says there is no doubt that the report's recommendations, if adopted, will err on the wrong side of a delicate balance that must be struck in the modern overseas territories. In its 44-page report, the UK Parliamentary Committee made 14 recommendations that included the mandatory publication of a beneficial ownership of companies register, the right to vote for UK citizen residents in Bermuda, and legislation of same-sex marriage. The motion in Bermuda's parliament called on the UK government to reject the report and its retrograde recommendations with respect to Bermuda and the overseas territories. Burt called for a clear message to be sent from Bermuda to the Foreign Affairs Committee, which drew up the report that the island's parliament is the place where decisions are made for the people of Bermuda. The Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology, CIMH, says weak El Nino conditions could prolong the drought in the Caribbean. El Nino is associated with a band of warm ocean water that develops in the central and east-central equatorial Pacific. In its latest publication of the Caribbean Climate Outlook, the CIMH says heat waves will start occurring in May, but it said that region-wide extreme heat is unlikely. The frequency of wet days and wet spells should be initially low, but will increase in these months. The CIMH said that for the period December 2018 to February this year, shorter-term drought developed across many parts of the Caribbean, while the Bahamas, Cayman, and western parts of Cuba have been wetter than usual. It said that long-term drought persisted in parts of Hispaniola and Tobago, depleting water resources faster than usual in this dry season. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. Explosive West Indies all-rounder Deandra Dutton again proved superb as Barbados easily retained their regional Super 50 title by brushing aside arch-rivals Trinidad and Tobago by 28 runs in their final round match yesterday. Now, both sides entered the contest at Enmore on the backs of 4 straight wins, but it was Barbados who proved superior, chalking up 242 for 7 of their 50 overs and then restricting TNT to 214 all out in the 48th over. After Barbados was sent in, Dutton stroked 73 of 43 deliveries to lead a trio of half-centuries makers as Kecia Knight top scored with 77, while her twin Kashona Knight chipped in with 56. In reply, Felicia Walters and Rachel Vincent provided a 50-run opening stand for TNT, but it consumed 97 deliveries and placed immense pressure on the innings. Dutton produced a telling burst with her medium pace to claim 6 for 38, sizing through the middle and lower order as TNT crashed from 182 for 4 in the 42nd over, losing their last 6 wickets for just 30 runs. At the National Stadium, Jamaica chased down a paltry 91 to beat Leeward Islands by 8 wickets, with Windies captain Stephanie Taylor taking 4 for 9 with her off-spin and international teammate Shady Nation then stroking an unbeaten 53. At border, host Guyana beat Windward Islands by 52 runs after comfortably defending 132 with off-spinners Shanetta Grimmond and Pafiana Millington doing the damage. At West Indies superstar Chris Gayle belted a man-of-the-match half-century to help fire Kings 11 Punjab to a 14-run win over Jufra Archers in the Rajasthan Royals in the Indian Premier League yesterday. And of course, we will get more of that story in our major newscast at 6:30. That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.